Hi everyone, welcome to our fourth week of distance learning. This week for art class, we're going to be making our own paints out of supplies from our own kitchens. For this project, I will be showing you what materials you need, how to set up your workspace, and some ideas for things you can use these paints for. Let's get started. At your workspace today, you're going to need a variety of kitchen spices. I dug in my cabinet and found some dill, some black tea, cinnamon, and curry powder, but you can feel free to get more creative with that if you'd like. You can use things like paprika or chili powder. And now you can see I'm putting my spices into containers. I chose Dixie cups, but you can use any containers that you might have available at your house. You are also going to need water to be adding to those mixtures once you're ready. So as you can see now, I'm adding my water. There's not a specific measurement, so I'm just kind of adding a little bit of water to a lot of spice and stirring that up in my Dixie cup. And I'll do the curry powder now. Once I am adding the water, I'm making sure I stir my spices really well to make sure the water absorbs the color from the ingredients. So I waited about 5 minutes to let my paints kind of absorb the color from the spices, and now I'm starting to make a cheat sheet. So this is basically just a piece of paper that I'm using to test out my paints to see what they're looking like. I tried my dill and it's a little chunky, full of spices, which is okay. They're all not going to be perfect. And now I'll test my curry powder paint, and hopefully I'll get some more color to it. It's showing out pretty yellow. And then lastly, I'll do my cinnamon one and see what that looks like. As for paper choice, choose anything you have around at home. Generally speaking, the thicker the paper you choose, the more water it can absorb. And so I chose kind of like a cardstock paper for my project. And I almost forgot about my black tea. I better make sure that I test that one out as well. So this is where I'm at now. And I waited another 10 to 15 minutes, and now I'm going to just try doing another layer of my paint over the first one to see how it adds to the existing color. So as you can see, the more layers of the paint I'm putting on, the fuller the color is. You can choose if you like a more washed out look, maybe only do one layer of your paint. However, I like a little bit more fuller of a color, so I chose, generally speaking in my work, to do 2 layers. And now, for when I decide to do my painting, I have this cheat sheet that I can go back to see what my paint is going to look like on my project. When going to do your sketch, take into consideration the colors you have available. All of my spices made these pretty earthy tones, so I decided that for my painting today, I was going to do a series of different types of leaves and things I could find outside. Now that I have my sketch, I'm going to go right into painting over it. So I'm remembering what it looks like on my cheat sheet, and I'm going over my leaves with this first coat, just kind of filling them in intuitively. You're welcome to use larger or smaller brushes. If you don't have paintbrushes at home, try to get creative with what you're using. You can find Q-tips, even a toothbrush, or you could put things that you found outside into your paint and use that as a brush. I'm putting on this first layer still and filling in as much as possible that I see fitting. I waited for my first coat to dry, and now I decided to go in with my second layer. So I'm remembering that this next layer is going to turn out a lot darker than my first one to really accentuate the colors of these now autumnal leaves. I'm sometimes going over them with the same color twice, or in some cases, like the tea, I'm going over it with a different color to see what happens when they mix. As always, don't be afraid to use this time to get experimental with your work. I'm always encouraging you to try different materials than you're used to. Feel free to do more than one painting during this time. These materials are for your use in whatever you would like to do. And now I have a final painting. I went in with a pen, and you are just as welcome to use any additional materials to make your painting feel complete. Alright everyone, that's a wrap for this week's art lesson. I hope you are outside enjoying the sunshine, and I look forward to seeing what you make with your homemade paints.